Welcome, everybody.
Hi. Hi, everyone.
Hey.
Hey.
Dana.
Hi, Dana.
Did it.
Hi.
Hi, guys.
Hey, guys.
Oh, this is great.
First interactive cooking event being brought to you, Snyder Diamond. I'm Russ Diamond, obviously. Viking Range Company, and most importantly, Dana Slatkin, owner, proprietor of Violet Bistro, Bar, and Cooking School, and doing a lot of online classes. So this will be the first, hopefully, you attend with Dana. For those that don't know, Violet Bistro is new to the dining scene in Los Angeles. They opened just a week before everything got shut down. So when this thing ends, hopefully everybody attends Violet Bistro, Bar, and Cooking School. The mission of Violet is to bring the community together over memorable meals and culinary adventures. And we're gonna have a big adventure tonight, I hope. Also joining us tonight is Wendy, Haworth, designer extraordinaire, who really helped bring Dana's vision of Violet to fruition. Wendy is also a great Snyder Diamond customer and also is the one who brought Dana to us. In turn, we involved Viking Range Company, and Mary Glazer is on the call too. And she is the local area representative dealing with a lot of the design community. And she had the foresight to really help support and collaborate with Violet Bistro and the cooking school. Because of her, voila, we are here today.
Okay. Thanks, Russ. I appreciate it. So I'm Mary Glazer. I'm the district sales manager with Viking. The design community, you guys are very important to us, and we definitely value and appreciate you. We have a specifier rewards program for you. So every time that you specify a Viking product and it results in a sale, say through Snyder Diamond, you have the ability to earn 2% back in cash or in rewards product when that results in a sale. If you guys have any questions on that, inside the brochure that I included, I have my business card. Please feel free to reach out to me. I'm more than happy to help in any way that I can. I also have a designer contest for Designer of the Year. One grand prize winner, and you are able to be eligible for a full page ad in Architectural Digest. And we just appreciate your support, and thank you very much.
Thank you. And I think now we're just going to go ahead and get started.
Did y'all get your bags of goodies?
Yeah.
Good.
So exciting.
I know. I'm here in our beautiful Violet Cooking School by Viking, and I just couldn't be more thrilled to be in this space. This was designed by the uber talented Wendy Haworth, but I kind of gave her the impossible task of rehabbing a 1938 building that hadn't been touched in 50 years. And I just said, look, go run with it, take it away, but you can't do anything you've ever done before. And she was like, sure, I'm up for it. I have to say, Russ and Wendy were two of the visionaries who just signed on to this project so quickly. And because of them, they brought in Viking. We're just so grateful to all of you. So thank you for your support. I do want to give you a little virtual tour of at least their cooking school. You'll have to want you to see what Wendy designed. It's kind of this charming mashup of Parisian chic and California cool with a little bit of barefoot Contessa thrown in. It's just so unique. I used to teach at my home for 12 years. I had a cooking school called Beverly Hills Farm Girl. And this is kind of a clone of my kitchen at home. I want you to see these gorgeous appliances. I call them jewelry by Viking. This is the 60-inch mat stove, which is just as functional as it is beautiful. And then Viking also generously donated with Snyder Diamond the fridge, the matte black fridge, the most beautiful dishwasher I've ever seen, and wall ovens. This is our rig that we're so grateful for. Yeah, well, we were open for 8 days, but in those 8 days, when people came for classes, they went nuts for this kitchen. So I'm going to show you how functional it is too, because we're going to make a 4-course meal together in about an hour. So I hope you're all ready to cook. Let's see. I'm here with my work husband, the fabulous David Keonat, and my work wife, excellent zoomographer, Jillian Turner. So I want you to just hand on each other.
Hi.
All right. Thank you. This does not happen alone. And I want to help you unpack. But first, I just wanted to say this is a crazy time. And it's sort of forced us to find new ways of spending our time. And interestingly, we all find ourselves back in our kitchens, kind of where it all began, where we all fell in love with cooking with our moms, and we fell in love with food and the simple pleasures. So I think that's one of the silver linings of this crazy time, is that cooking has become front and center again. Without further ado, I think we should get started because we have some fun cooking ahead. So let me unpack your bags for you. And when I cook, I usually like to take several sheets, cooking sheets, and organize my ingredients per recipe. So if you have cookie sheets, you may want to grab some. So first recipe we're going to make is dessert. Dessert's going to take a little time to bake, so I want to tackle it first. And for your dessert, you should have gotten a bunch of deli containers. One says brownie, one says topping. Should have the brownie flour, the sugar, and a thing of eggs. Next recipe we'll probably hit is the rice, the violet rice. You should have gotten some very interesting looking purple rice that's already cooked for you. And then a couple tiny ramekins. One contains confit onions and one contains cognac soaked currants. And then you should have some chopped chives all ready to go. All you need for that is a saucepan or saute pan. Moving on, I think we'll tackle our salmon. You should have gotten a few beautiful pieces of salmon and some nice green sauce, which I'm going to show you how to make. It's very easy. It's basically like an herb smoothie in the blender. Last but not least is our salad. You should have received a beautiful box of lettuce that said Salanova on it. Salanova is a type of little gem lettuce. It's absolutely gorgeous. We got it from the farmer's market this morning. So lettuce, we sent you the vinaigrette, red wine vinaigrette, so that's already done. There's some chopped herbs or picked herbs. There's a hunk of cheese and a half a shallot. And some roasted pistachios. Let's start with our brownies. We'll start by melting our chocolate. And our favorite way to do that is over a double boiler, which is a fancy term for a pot with a bowl on top. If you prefer, you can use a microwave, but we don't want to burn your chocolate. So just nuke it for like 30 seconds at a time. But I'm going to start by melting my chocolate and my butter together. And I'm just going to use a rubber spatula. It'll take a few minutes. We're going to make our s'mores brownie. You may not have time to bake the whole thing right now because we're going to bake it, wait, and then put the topping on and then bake it again. But you can always do this after dinner. My sugar. And then I'm going to crack my eggs into a separate bowl, or actually I'll just use this container. Because even though we're going to add them to the same bowl, I want to make sure I don't get any shells in the batter. Okay. So just give it a stir. Doesn't take long at all because these are mini chocolate chips. Are you cooking over there at Snyder Diamond?
Yep, we're cooking on our Viking range.
Oh, I love it. I am going to stir this a little more just so it cools down. I add it to my bowl of sugar. Something so satisfying about seeing chocolate dripping into a bowl. Like your mouth starts watering because you know there's something yummy coming. And I'm just going to use my spatula now and just stir it together. Time I'm adding my eggs, and then last goes the flour, the brownie flour.
What kind of flour do you use? Just regular flour typically?
This is, yeah, it's organic though. This is a really nice organic, unbleached flour, all-purpose flour. How are we doing? Okay, I can't resist. We're gonna bake it halfway. Put the topping on. I'm gonna put this in our oven and set the timer for 24 minutes. This will be your secret weapon when you go. We can finally go to someone's house for dinner. This is what you'll bring and blow their socks off. All right, let's get started with our violet rice. Grab a pan and grab a little oil or butter. All right, so I'm feeling my pan to see if it's hot. It is, so I'm gonna dump my rice in here. And there's really nothing to this. We're just gonna give it a stir and dump everything else in. This is a mixture, by the way, of Thai purple rice and brown rice. So it's super healthy. The purple rice has tons of antioxidants. We love the texture. We love that it's purple. And we also gave you those beautiful confit onions, which have been confitting for about 3 hours. I'm gonna mix these in along with the currants. The currants soak in cognac for a few hours, so they're also super flavorful. And all this just kind of perfumes the rice. So just stir it all together. And really, we're just warming this up so it's reheated. When you're ready to eat dinner, you'll probably want to blast it with more heat, just so it's nice and hot when you bring it to the table. First, I'm salting my rice because for me, it needs a little salt. My rice is hot. I'm just going to put it in a nice serving dish. I'm going to put a little bit of vinegar. So just a splash. Voila. This is exactly how we serve it at Violet. Brownies are baking.
It's delicious.
Rice is
Really
sorted.
good.
Let's get to our fish. And you can put that pan right on a medium flame. And we're going to preheat our pan so it's nice and hot. Now grab your tray with the fish. I'm smelling our pan. It's nice and hot. The way to tell is you hold your hand above it. And if you can't do this anymore, it's hot enough. And it's not quite hot, it's smoking, and that's a good thing. Don't be afraid of the smoke. But right before this goes into the pan, I'm gonna salt it pretty generously and pepper it. And do it on both sides. If you don't like fish skin, don't fret. It's a lot easier to take off once the fish is cooked. So just leave it on there for now. And you can always remove it when the fish is cooked. A very thin film of oil goes in the pan. I'm going to swirl it all around. And I'm going to put the fish in skin side down. And I always kind of rock it in the oil just to make sure the whole fillet is covered in oil. Okay, medium to high flame. I'm gonna flip this. And you can see that beautiful color. It's kind of a golden brown.
Ciao, babe.
I'm gonna sear it on the other side as well. Now, I'm gonna turn this over just so you can see the color. Look at that gorgeous color. I'm gonna touch it and see if it's done, and I can tell that it's not done yet. I'm giving it another couple seconds on one side. It doesn't matter which. Okay, now I'm going to take it off. The way to tell if it's done is if you have a meat thermometer or a digital thermometer. It's a good way to tell. Stick it right in the middle. You can also do this with a knife, by the way. I'm not looking for temperature, I'm just looking for feel. And I'm gonna take this out and touch it to my lip. And if it's warm, your fish is cooked through. If it's cold, your fish is raw in the middle. I gave you the sauce Provençal, and I'm just gonna show you how to make it. It's an herb sauce. It's kind of like a chimichurri sauce, but very bright and so flavorful. Great with any kind of grilled fish, grilled meat, roasted vegetables. But I'm hearing my beeper go off, so I'm gonna go check our brownies. Okay, brownies I'm gonna give another 10 minutes or so. I'm looking for that nice crispy skin on the brownie. All right, let me show you how to make that sauce Provençal that we sent you, because it's so easy and I want you to be able to make it all. So the sauce that you have to go with your salmon is just fresh parsley, oregano, and tarragon. You can use cilantro, you can use chives, dill, some Cabernet vinegar, and fresh lavender, which is kind of our Provençal touch. That all goes in the blender along with a couple cloves of garlic, which I'm going to peel. And it's nice because the blender does all the work. So blend it up. Add the oil. And that's it. It turns this beautiful verdant green. It does need a lot of salt, so I'm going to add like a teaspoon of salt. It just smells so fresh. This will lift your spirits. It's like aromatherapy. All right, I'm pouring this into a nice ramekin so I can serve this on the side of anything. Plate your salmon. Grab a spoon. So if you want it to look super chefy, you can take a spoon and just drizzle it around your plate. And then we use a finishing salt. If you have like sel de mer, some kind of salt. That's not Morton's, just a coarse sea salt. So this is our beautiful salmon with sauce Provençal that you can look forward to tonight's dinner. And our last dish is the miso salad. This is actually a salad that my French mother taught me when I was living in France. I was 20 years old. I went to cook at a 3-star restaurant called Georges Blanc. And a little girl and her mom picked me up my very first day and took me home. And I ended up living with them for 9 months. The mother's name was Marie Claude, but everyone called her Miso. And this was the salad we had every night. So I named the salad after her. So it starts with Salanova. Just show you how we played it at Violet at the bistro. We just put it in a nice salad bowl. And then you'll see in your kits, you got this giant shallot. We will not use all the shallot. I'll probably just use a quarter of it. And then this cheese, which is called osso irati. This is a delicious sheep's milk cheese. It's kind of a cross between pecorino and Gruyere. So I am going to start by chopping my shallot. Need a good sharp knife. And because this is so big, I'm going to peel the whole thing, but I'm only going to use about a quarter of it. I'm going to take a break just to go check our brownies. I'll be right back. I'm going to take the brownies out and we'll get back to these in a minute. First, we're going to finish our salad and then I'll show you how to put the topping on the brownies. I've got my shallot facing me, perpendicular to me, and I'm going to make very thin slits in the shallot to the very end, but not to the top. And I'm going to try to hold this thing together. I'm going to turn the shallot so it's parallel to me and make cuts right into the shallot, kind of angling down. And just do your best to hold it together. And then we cut through the shallot the little pieces. And I'm gonna, all right, so I'm gonna put a few of these shallots in with our lettuce. Now I'm gonna grate my cheese with a microplane. This is a handy thing to have in your kitchen. It's a microplane. It's a very thin grater. And I'm going to grate this on top. By the way, the rind is very edible. So even if you don't want to grate it, you should try snacking on it. This is just such good cheese. Roasted pistachios on top. Beautiful picked herbs, tarragon, dill, and parsley. And voila, this is our miso. And now, right before you're ready to sit down for dinner, you'll want to toss it, but I'm not going to toss it right now because I don't want my salad to get soggy. The last thing we're going to do is put our topping on our brownies, and then I will send you off with your delicious dinner waiting for you. All right? This is the easy part. You just get to sprinkle. And then this goes in for another like 20 or so minutes. I'm gonna set the timer for 20 just so I know it doesn't burn. And then these need to cool before you try to slice them because they are so fudgy. You'll want them to cool down for at least an hour or so. And again, I'll set my timer for 20 minutes. I'll check then. If it looks nice and golden, it'll probably be done. The thing that reminds me of why I wanted to build Violet is violets. They symbolize resilience to me. Violets are the flowers that bloom in the snow. They're the ones that get trounced on and snowed on, and yet when there's still snow on the ground, they're blooming. If you liked this class, we do these classes every Thursday on Zoom at 5 o'clock. It's always a different menu. And we also, we do these private classes, and we're gonna have summer camp for kids. So thank you for having me. Thank you for trusting me with your dinner. And I know you're gonna enjoy it.